Welcome back, guys, to some more Dawn of War 3 beta, and today we are doing another matchup against Assassin this time. Again, Space Marine versus Space Marine 1v1, and we're going to be trying out pretty much a similar strategy, but I had figured out a little bit extra workaround to it, in that instead of putting your builders and units straight out to your points, you want to go straight for the middle. So we're going to be doing that one this time, guys. I'll see you in the game. So jumping straight on in, we're just chucking the Servitor right out into the very middle. Now this strategy is, to me, it still feels a little bit luck-based at the start. So I'm not 100% sure on that because it has worked pretty much every round. But, yeah, there's still, it's sort of luck-based because you can send the Servitor out to the left of the middle, and they can send their Servitor out to the left of the middle as well, and it'll end up just being a battle of the builders. So it sort of depends on where they send their Servitor out as well, and if they actually end up sending it out at all. So yeah, otherwise, other than that, we are doing a fairly similar build, except this time with the what are they called? The Tactical Marines. Thank you, game, for telling me that. I decided to go one Tactical Marine squad with the Stronghold and one... did I? No, I didn't put him in the drop pod, but I do that in other games. So if you haven't already done that, guys, it is a very fun strategy to use because you can pretty much set out two at once. So yeah, I sent the Servitor straight into the middle to grab the elite point as well. And the two Tactical Marine squads, yeah, they are both going up to the second point, and I've got a second Servitor heading down to the bottom right. The top Servitor will then be heading down to the left one as soon as he's finished on that strategic point, I think it's called. I don't really know whether I want to put down power or resources early game at this point. I'm still figuring out whether it's a good idea to put them down early or not. I do put down a requisition for at least one, I believe, this point. It could be two, I'm not sure, I can't see the other one obviously. Chucking down the barracks there. I think I misclicked that one. I wanted to put down the Doctoring Chapel because that's what the build I was heading for with the Devastator Marines with the heavy bolters. That was the strategy I was going for. But instead I put down the barracks like a retard, and I decide, once I figure it out, that I'm just going to go with scout snipers in the cover for now. So yeah, you can see I've already got my other units in there in case the enemy tries to attack forward. And as you can obviously see by this point, I have got pretty much control of, I want to say, 3/4 of the map. I still obviously don't have his 2 points, but yeah, I'm getting a lot more requisition and power and whatever at this point than he is by far. Jumping into that shield generator just there, we're just getting little bits of chip damage off until we see his units appearing, but he doesn't appear just yet. So we're just getting as much damage off as we can at this point with the 2 Marine squads. My Scout Marines are heading off over into that cover piece, as you can see just there. I do chuck down, which one do I pick? I picked the requisition. So yeah, and I think with picking the requisition and the power, at this point it's sort of, you just gotta watch your resources and see when it's a safe time and a stable economy to do it. So he doesn't really see here that we are sort of bullying him from both sides at this point. I think he may pick up on it now. And I get my scouts out of there as soon as I can. Yep, and the scouts move back to the other cover. I do chuck down that same bomb. I still don't know the name of that bomb. I can't check it at all now. So yeah, we do take out his units fairly easily just there because we also had the power from the Iron Maw team and the extra bomb that they dropped. So we're just heading back to the chapel, to the barracks to reinforce our units because we don't want to keep them out there and then not have a stable team to be able to fight the rest of the enemy. Chucking down an arsenal as well so that we can get the upgrades, because they will be needed late game as usual. I think we do start heading back up to this shield generator because we do want to keep getting damage off. And he doesn't, as far as I know, he doesn't really send off too many units to try and capture any of my points, because yeah, he's probably, at this point he doesn't have the requisition and the power. Getting some assault marines out as well so that we can, if they decide to chuck down some units in the shield generator, like they will probably be about to do, we can actually, yeah, like they just go there, we can actually chuck down the assault marines straight into the middle of them. I also didn't realize, but the I would have thought the grenade from the Devastator, from the kill team would go through the shield, but it in fact doesn't. So that was a bit of a bummer at that point. I didn't realize that, and they do put the stun on my units, which they are still getting the decent chunks of damage off, but for some stupid reason he decides to send his units out, and yeah, that ends up screwing him over real big. He does have a second squad of scouts there as well now. They must have, they would have stealthed, obviously, cloaked in, that's the one. And the assault marines. And they go down pretty quick now, those other scout marine units of his, because he just cannot keep up with the power of the assault marines. Mind you, assault marines are actually not the strongest units. They are, as far as I can tell, they are better in bulk. And the units are going down fairly easily. And shield generator will be going down fairly quickly. So at this point there's really not a whole lot he can do. I do start to grab the upgrades. I can only get one at this point, I think, because I didn't have enough power. And bouncy. I'm not 100% sure where my scouts are. Oh no, they're up on the front line, that's why. So yeah, for some reason he hasn't macroed his unit. Is it macro or micro? I can't remember. But he hasn't moved his units around enough to be able to do enough, or to be even starting to attack me. Does send in some assault marines, but I have already gotten my units out, so there's not a whole lot that they do. And because my units are starting to go down a bit, and he has upped that shield generator again, I cannot shoot into it, so I decide to go back and reinforce. And then just come back and chip damage again afterwards. I do send up a second assault marine team. Yeah, as far as I can tell, with the strategy early game, this point, guys, it does work, but no strategy is perfect. So, yeah, if I were you, I would try it and see if you can mold it to your liking as well, because obviously everyone's going to have their own strategies that they use to this. Some may pick some up off the internet, like you would from my video. Some of them may just figure it out themselves, and you know, if it works, it works, so go for it. So I think at this point we also realized that he hasn't captured his strategic point, which I don't know why, but we're just going to jump straight on in and take it from under his nose. And then we do start building a forward base again just here, as soon as we've got the resources and this point. And there's really just not a whole lot he can do at this point. We do get that first drop pod, and we are getting the snipers. Ironically, they can, well, not ironically, but conveniently enough, they decided to attack that generator without me picking it. So I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna do it. Stuff him. And I don't think the game actually warns him, or if it does, he doesn't pick up on it. But yeah, I am attacking the shield generator from a distance, and he doesn't do anything about it. Jumping straight on in him with the 2 assault marine squads this time. There's really not a whole lot he can do whatsoever this time. And I think I do want, yeah, I want to try and get the power swords upgrade, but I don't end up getting it, I don't believe. And we're going to jump them straight on in over there. I see that he's got, I think it's a rocket launcher actually, on one of these units. Yeah, I think it's some sort of rockets that he's got there. Okay, so we do have enough elite points as well for Gabriel to come in should we need him, but we don't use him just yet because I'll explain it more in one of my new videos coming up soon, but Gabriel, when you drop him, he has a doctrine on him that when he drops, he can heal from his drop pod all the units around him for a short period of time. So I would be very wise about when you send Gabriel down. And because I do have the kill team in as well, I can drop him anywhere on the field so long as it's in range of the kill team. They're sort of like a forward building, I guess, to drop onto. So we are chucking down that Doctorine Chapel now. Sorry guys, just had to move my mic. It was too close into my mouth and it was annoying me. So yeah, we are chucking down the Doctorine Chapel and we'll be getting out a few Devastator and Last Cannon units. And then we'll also, a little bit later on, we will be getting the Machine Cult. So I think at this point now I'm just going around capping the, not capping, but putting power nodes onto each of the strategic points. Because we don't have enough power, as you can see, we only have 80 there at the moment. So we are chucking down a few units. I think I'm going to skip forward at this point, guys. Oh no, maybe not. He does send some units in. This is where he figures out, oh, maybe I should capture this point, but he doesn't realize I've already got it. So he does try to go in and cap it and realizes I'm already there making an entire army. So at this point I will try to skip forward because, yeah, it's basically just unit building at this point. So I will see you guys in a little while. Jumping back in here, guys, we do have the machine, no, not the Machine Cult, one of his, I think it may be his Doctrine Chapel, yeah. He does have that a little bit forward, and we are just trying to take that down from without the range of the turret. And we are also dropping down the Machine Cult at the same time so that we can get a couple of Dreadnoughts out. So we do take out that chapel. And I think we are also putting some units into the drop pods so that we can drop them in should they be in the right team. He does send down the Death Watch team as well, which we decide to bully almost instantly. And I think, yeah, he also sends down, I think that's just a normal squad actually. And yeah, he's trying to do a little bit of damage on me, but it's just not working for him. I just have too much there for him to be able to do it. So what he should have done there is kept all of his units back and wait until he has enough resources. He does send down Jonah, and one thing you need to note about Jonah, guys, is that once Jonah puts that shield up, he cannot attack out either. So basically they just wasted their Jonah here. If you're going to use that shield, you need to have units inside that area. So yeah, Jonah does go down, and he is stupidly attacking Gabriel and not taking out damage on any units. I know, sorry, he is putting a little bit of damage on my Assault Marines, but it is mainly going through Gabriel. So he does take out a couple of units there, but that's fine because we have plenty of requisition and all that to reinforce our units, so it doesn't even put any damage onto us. So we've got a few more units coming out, and we should be almost ready to attack. We've got a couple of Dreadnoughts coming as well. So we got one. I believe I build a second, but I think I only go in with the one. I could be wrong, but yeah. So at this point, I think we're almost ready to attack into them. We're just reinforcing our squads. And I think I'm at this point trying to figure out whether I need a second Dreadnought or not. Yeah, I'm just going around hotkeying all the different units and all that sort of stuff. I don't fully reinforce all of my units, do I? I'm not sure. I don't think I see that I've still got units that are needing reinforcing. I really don't think this guy knew what he was doing at all, because he put down the standard and there's no, like, no reason for it. Sure, he's got some units there, but they're not going to really be able to do anything about it. But yeah, at this point I can pretty much attack in and win. I do get my scout marines shooting from the corner over there as well. So yeah, at this point there's really nothing he can do. He's just pretty much holding out until I take him out and he gets his experience from it pretty much at this point. I do have the last cannons taking out the unit, which is an incredibly slow process. Do not recommend. Yeah, I'm fairly well ready to go in. So I'm really not sure what I'm waiting for at this point, so I'm just going to skip forward a little bit. Alright, so we are attacking on in now, guys, and the turret has found us. That is trying to bully us, and we are just skipping straight past their units and shoving all of our units into the turret. I am also dropping that orbital bombardment as well, and we're going to be taking it straight over into their barracks. And sneaky on over. What do I take? No, I take the barracks out first, yeah. Turret is down, and we can pretty much just obliterate them at this point. I take all of my units over to the power core. We also did get a Predator Annihilator tank there, guys, so it is also bullying them as well. I chucked down the Terminator as well, just for shits and giggles. And my other units, and yeah, at this point, they've lost. I've got way too much on here for them to be able to deal with it. And that is endgame, and I just chucked down the standard just for shits and giggles, but it doesn't even make it in, really. There it is, and we won, guys. So yeah, the strategy, does it work? So far, yes. Is it perfect? No, no strategy is perfect. But yeah, for now it works. It's winning me games and I'm loving it. So there will probably be more videos in the future of how to perfect it even further, because at the moment it is obviously not perfect. So yeah, that's pretty much all I can offer at this point, and the next video I have up will be sometime within the next week about elites and doctrine, so keep an eye out for that one as well, guys. Make sure, and yeah, if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. Also click that little bell icon, because it will tell you when I put new videos out. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. I shall see you next time.